Most people assume that getting a professional sound requires spending a small fortune, but this little workhorse proves that theory wrong. When you first pick up the P120, it feels surprisingly substantial. It has a solid, metal-bodied weight that makes it feel like it belongs in a real studio rather than a bedroom setup. It is not trying to be flashy or over-engineered. It is just a straightforward, no-nonsense condenser mic that gets the job done. The sound profile is where things get interesting. It captures a surprising amount of detail, especially in the high end, which gives vocals that crisp, polished quality you usually only hear on much pricier gear. Because it uses a 2-3-inch diaphragm, it is quite sensitive, meaning it picks up the nuances in a voice or the subtle resonance of an acoustic guitar without sounding muddy. Now, here is the thing about sensitive mics. They can be temperamental if your room isn't treated, but this one handles itself well. It is a cardioid pattern, so it does a decent job of ignoring what is happening behind it, focusing instead on whatever is directly in front of the capsule. One of the smartest design choices here is the inclusion of a -20 decibel pad and a bass roll-off switch. If you are recording something loud, like a guitar amp or a particularly aggressive vocalist, that pad is a lifesaver. It keeps the signal from clipping, which is a common headache with cheaper condensers. The bass roll-off is also handy if you're dealing with low-end rumble from a desk or an air conditioner. It is a simple toggle, but it saves so much time in post-production. Honestly, the only real downside is that it is a bit of a bare-bones package. You get the mic and a stand adapter, but you are going to need to buy your own XLR cable and a proper shock mount if you want to avoid picking up vibrations from your desk. It would have been nice to see a basic pouch or a better mount included, but at this price point, it is hard to complain too much. It handles high sound pressure levels up to 150 decibels, which is honestly overkill for most home setups, but it is nice to know you won't break the thing if you decide to record a drum kit or a loud brass instrument. It plays nice with just about any audio interface you throw at it, provided you have phantom power, which is standard for this type of gear. If you are just starting out or you need a reliable backup that doesn't sound like a budget toy, this is a solid pick. It is not going to replace a high-end vintage tube mic, but for the price, it is remarkably capable. It is one of those rare pieces of gear that just works, sounds clean, and doesn't get in the way of the actual creative process. If you want to step up your audio game without emptying your savings, this is definitely worth a look.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.